22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. Today, and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. And are not afraid to say it. And are not.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones here, and welcome to the People Before Politics show, Black Westchester Magazine, and I am the publisher of Black Westchester Magazine, and you could go to blackwestchester.com and get the news with the Black point of view. And I hope everybody had a great Blacktastic Sunday. Great Blacktastic Sunday. My partner, AJ Woodson, will be logging in soon. But I want to welcome everybody to the show. If you're watching on X, if you're watching on Instagram, I see you. If you're watching on Facebook, I see you. So I just want to welcome everybody and thank everybody for the support of Black Westchester Magazine. We have continued to try to give the news from a Black perspective, because not all media does. And ourselves in the county press, we are blessed. Our big sister who owns the county press. So we have 2 Black newspapers in Westchester County. And that is a beautiful thing. We are not in competition at all. We are standing on the county press's shoulders as independent media, unbought and unbossed. One thing I wanted, I'm going to talk about it a little bit until my partner AJ gets here. But I want to talk about the sin of the day, right? The sin of the day, fellas. We're coming up to the warm weather, and if you like me, you like to have nice scents, right? And I do a little clip now and then on YouTube called "Balling with a Budget," where you could smell good without killing your pockets. Like, I'd be watching people spend $400-$500 for not even a small bottle of cologne or perfume, and that's crazy. But you could find good smelling, long lasting projection colognes or perfumes, and you don't have to kill yourself or kill your pocket. Now, if you got that type of money, God bless you. God bless you. But y'all need to check this out. This is called Afnan Supremacy in Heaven. This is a great cologne. It comes from the Aventus, like the Creed Aventus DNA. It's like a Creed Aventus style. It's great for the summertime. It's long lasting. The projection, the first 2 hours, you're going to get crazy projection, 3 to 6 feet. It's going to last at least 7 to 8 hours on your skin. And after maybe about 3 hours, you can still smell it. You're going to fill the room up, and it's going to be it's a good It's a very good smelling cologne. So, ladies, if your son, it's a little older scent, but if he's in his 20s and he has to go to the office and work, this is dope. He's going to get crazy compliments. He's going to get crazy compliments. So that is the scent of the day. Now, I was waiting. I was waiting to AJ come on because I wanted to talk about the House passing billions of dollars overseas, and because I really I get it, but yet I don't get it because of the fact that right here in America we have homelessness. We have a lot of homelessness all throughout America, and it's not just in the Black community, in the real white communities, um, in the poor white communities. We have a lot of homelessness, and as we know, Black communities are food deserts. It's hard to get fresh fruits and vegetables in a lot of Black communities, and they eat a lot of processed foods, and we ended up with chronic illnesses and diseases, and that's a fact. That is definitely a fact. So when we see our tax dollars, my tax dollars, your tax dollars, go overseas to fight a war, I don't know about you, but I got a problem with that. Now, I had some discussions with people. They're talking about national security and all that, but I do remember one of the founding fathers, and I believe it was Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Build your borders and mind your business." We ain't doing neither. We're not building our borders, and we're not minding our business. And we're spending hardworking people's money in other folks' business. And I don't think that's a good idea. See, we have to start sending a message with our vote and really find out who these politicians are actually working for, because they're not working for us, brothers and sisters. They're not working for us when they're sending all that money overseas. They're not working for us. When we breaking our rims on potholes in the street, and cities say they don't have any money, what are we sending money overseas for? And all that money overseas. You know why? Because our politicians are being bought off. They're being bought off. Millions of dollars, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars given to these politicians every election year, so they could go down to DC and send our money overseas. Send our money overseas. So I mean, we really have to educate ourselves and stop saying, I'm just going to vote for this person because he's a Democrat, or I'm not going to vote for this person for he's a Republican, because even your Democrats are sending your tax dollars overseas, and you could barely pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your utilities bills. Winter come around, you damn near go broke just to keep gas in your house. And we got these, and we got people that we vote for that's supposed to work for us, but they're working for special interest groups like APAC, whose goal is to send our money overseas. So we really have to pay attention to all that. I'm trying to bring up the actual amount. It's $95.3 billion $95.3 billion to Ukraine, Taiwan. I don't know what's going on in Taiwan, and Israel. Why are we sending so much money? I participate in a food pantry right here in Mount Vernon, New York. And we feed hundreds of people every week that can't afford food. They can't afford food. And they rely on our food pantry twice a week to get food. But yet we sending $95.3 billion to other countries. And there's people right here in the United States that can't even get food. Something's wrong with that picture. Our educational system is just collapsing right before our eyes. Something's wrong with this picture. And we continue to vote for the same foolish people to do the same thing. And we always forget the definition of insanity is because you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. And I got a message for you, Democrats. These young black kids, no wonder the United States want to shut down TikTok. Because these young black kids right now, they not feeling none of that. They talking about it on social media, especially TikTok. Can't talk about it a lot on Facebook and Instagram because Meta, will block you. Meta will mute your video. But they're talking about on TikTok. They're not as scared to have those type of discussions, on TikTok. It's crazy. And we might think it's crazy, but it's real. Y'all are losing the young people. Democrats, y'all are losing a lot of the young people. Because a lot of times, I don't care what you say, the job market, a lot of these young kids can't get no jobs that they can actually live off of. So they got a plan to be influencers on social media to make some money. Because we're not providing jobs that's paying a decent wage. And you want to put the decent wage burden on the small entrepreneur. And here, Jamie Dimon, who runs Chase, gets millions and millions of dollars, but the bank teller can't even. The bank teller don't even make what he make in an hour. And then we got it twisted. We want to say, we want to raise $25 an hour. But how can the little entrepreneur pay their employees $25 an hour? How can they do that? When they're barely making it. But yet we're sending billions of dollars overseas. And we're not investing in our communities. United States Congress, United States Senate, President Biden. And let me tell you, they know the feeling of these younger people. They know the feelings of these younger people. And trust me, by no means am I saying Trump is the answer to anything. But what I'm saying is that the party that claims that they represent us is not representing us. I live right here. Well, Westchester County, I don't live there no more. But Westchester County, where I put my time in, still haven't addressed the homeless needs of homeless people. Black communities are getting smaller and smaller. That Black people can only afford to go certain places if they didn't have some type of generational wealth where the homes were passed down to them, that Black people that used to work for General Motors used to buy homes because they were the highest employer of Black people in Westchester County back then. And Department of Corrections, they employed more Black men historically than any other civil service department in Westchester County, including local. So, what is Black people to do? What is Black folks to do? So we have a few new articles on blackwestchester.com. And please go check out the website. And one of the newest articles is that there's a restructuring plan for the Nepperham Community Center in Yonkers, announced by Mayor Mike Spano. Mayor Spano says that that they know that the Nepperham Community Center is a very important center for the seniors and young people, and they want to maintain the programs and make sure that there's a next chapter for the community center. So I think that's good. The Nepperham Community Center is definitely needed in the city of Yonkers, and as the mayor said, serving the youth and serving the seniors. So, I applaud Mayor Spano for looking out for that and making sure that the community in Yonkers do not lose the Nepperham Community Center. And what else we got going on Black Westchester? And y'all could check out Black Westchester, Sister to Sister. Sister to Sister hosted their third annual Day of Action conference. When is it? Y'all could definitely. Did it happen? I think AJ went. Yeah, on April 20th. You know what? I'm going to try to share this. I'm going to try to share this page right on the screen so those that are watching can actually see what I'm seeing. There you go. There you go. So this was a beautiful Dr. Blackstock, and it was a great event. I think AJ did go there. So last week we did a story about, let me see if we have it here. I'm going to go here first. Last week we did a story about that Westchester County District Attorney candidate William Wagstaff, who making history as the first Black person to run for Westchester County District Attorney, had a press conference last week saying that Cacase, who is the opponent, Judge Susan Cacase, their team was harassing people that signed signatures for Wagstaff. And it's always an issue. And I'm going to tell you, because I am always transparent. If you are running for office, anybody who wants to run for office, wants to serve the community, and you're running for office, and if you understand that there's a signature process that you have to actually go out, or you have a team that goes out and collects signatures, let me tell you something. Make this clear. If you are a candidate, for all y'all aspiring politicians, do not collect signatures. I'm going to say it again. Do not collect your own signatures. Candidates should never collect their signatures, because you become an easy target for them to do to you what they're trying to do to Wagstaff right now, saying that he falsified documents, saying that he didn't witness people sign his signature sheet. This goes on all the time. But what the crazy thing is, if that is the case, Judge Cacase, then allow the Board of Election to do their job. Why go to court? You know why they're going to court? Is because they're trying to make him spend unnecessary money, because she has a lot of money. And this is what these politicians do. This is the games that people play. And not only that, in the process of trying to get him on fraud, Wagstaff can lose his law license. So not only then he's going to have enough signatures regardless, because he got 6,000, and if my memory served me correct, you're only going to need 1,500. So why are you doing all this? Why are you trying to take this Black man's livelihood away instead of just filing, trying to knock off enough signatures that you can, so he will not be in the race? But you want to take a further step to really punish him and his family for just deciding to step up and have the audacity of hope to be the first Black Westchester County District Attorney. Man, let me tell you something. That shows your character. That shows your character. The Cacase team, that shows your character. Why don't you just stand and debate and may the best man and woman win? And she's going to say, well, he challenged my signatures first. So what? Did he take you to court? Because I know not every damn signature you got was correct. It never happens that way. But what that does is shows Judge Cacase's character. That you will not only just not knock him off, you will try to take the man's livelihood. And you think that black people are going to think that you're going to represent us fairly in the district attorney's office? And the other fact that when black organizations invited you to come out, you refused to come out? See, y'all got to listen up, man. Westchester County is one of the most racist goddamn counties in the state. It's worse than living in Texas. See, and they do it so subtle and slick. And they send these Negroes out to say, oh, they're okay. They're okay. No. No. And the question is, when are black people in Westchester going to wake up? That's what I'm trying to figure out. When are black people going to wake up? How many times they're going to pull the rug up under us? How many times they're going to piss on us and tell us it's raining? Here you got a black man, first black man in Congress, and they want to take him out because he's down there talking about black issues. He's down there talking about we're not going to have no type of genocide over in Palestine, and they want to take him out. He brought $1 billion to the district, and white folks talking about he ain't do nothing. Oh, well, we could challenge him. We could do this and we could do that. Elliot Engel was in office for 30 years. Nita Lowey, 30 years. And it was a no-no to even think about challenging them. It was a no-no. And I like Elliot. I met Nita Lowey once, but I really, as a person, I like Elliot. He took ads out in the paper. I'm not mad at that. But at the end of the day, when he got caught with that hot mic, he showed who he was. Come on, y'all. We gotta do better than that as black people. We have to do better than that. And then you have an organization that's going to back George Lattimore, and they're going to say community before party. So they don't even give a damn about y'all black folks. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about the homeless children. They don't give a damn about the homelessness. They don't give a damn about the failing educational system. Because they say community before party. That ain't got nothing to do with them. And they don't care. But here we are all the time want to put everybody underneath our umbrella. When do we start saying community before party? We too scared to say it. We scared. Everybody get quiet. And I'm always going to go back to the killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. Police officers on audio tape calling the man the N-word 3 times on audio. We couldn't get one politician to come out. No, only one did, and that was Yana Edwards. We couldn't get black politicians to come out. They ran. They ran from Kenny Chamberlain. Hell, we couldn't even get many black pastors to come out to stand with him. But yet, let a swastika get drawn on a dumpster. And it's standing room only. Standing room only. They fighting to get to the front. The black politicians, the black pastors, they're fighting to be seen. But when a black man set off his life alert by mistake and was called the N-word 3 times by white plain police, then they went in and killed them. We couldn't find none of them. When we got to change ourselves, because black communities are not getting any better. Not at all. This is why sometimes I don't like being on the show by myself because I just go on a rant. And I pray to God that we will have the mindset to change, but we don't do it. We don't do it because we're too distracted. We too distracted by some of these dumb ass rappers talking about whose house is bigger. Who cares? I feed people every week that's trying to get food. And these Negroes like Rick Ross talking about whose house is bigger? He ain't never make the type of music like Miles Davis, ever, the music that will last forever. And nobody, and he ain't never talk about his house. Ain't nobody ask him about his house. Dizzy Gillespie, ain't nobody ask him about his house. These are legends. And this Negro Rick Ross is talking about we're going to have a house battle. That's a distraction. You got 32,000 people, 70% women and children being bombed, and this Negro talking about his house. And we sitting here sucking it up. J. Cole trying to make peace. And these stupid Negroes talking about that's not hip hop. That is hip hop. These little Negroes don't even know the history of hip hop. Love, peace, having fun. Wasn't about all this stupid nonsense that they're talking about. And we continue to be distracted. And they're sending billions of dollars to other countries, and we worrying about a goddamn rap battle. About some Negroes that don't even give a damn about us. Come on, man, we got to do better. We have to do better. This is insane. I don't know where the hell AJ at. Shit. Oh, here we go. Well, I need a break, man, because I just been on a rant for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I heard. I was having technological issues, but I did watch at least the last 15 minutes. You was hip hopping down You went from the Wagstaff train to the Bowman train to somehow got to the Rick Ross, J. Cole train. I'm like, what the? I think the train made a couple of other stops in between somewhere. I was like, let me get on real quick. He'll be talking about Cat Williams in 5 minutes. No, yeah, that's man. What's up.
I want to thank again the people that's watching on Instagram. I want to thank the people that's watching on X. I want to thank the people that's watching on Facebook, man. You know, but that was my rant, you know, and I might come up with another one before the show's out.
Nah, you know, I mean, people need to hear your voice sometimes because, you know, believe me, I had some rough ones when you wasn't there. Well, I was like,
well, I mean, I could have kept going, but you know, I was just trying to. I was just trying to be the spiritual brother y'all see every morning. You know, Sundays is a little different because I have to talk about local issues, especially when dealing with politics. And I want y'all to understand something, man. God is not in politics. Let's make that clear. You know, and even the Bible tells us that there's wickedness in high places. So we have to understand what we're dealing with, and Black people still don't. Black people are still looking for allies instead of looking out for our interests.
You know, I've been reading a lot of James Cone lately. The Black liberation theologist. Talked about revolution and theology, or
right,
you know, all that. So one thing we have to realize, if we're going to participate in these systems, all of these systems were created out of racism. All of these systems, politics, none of these systems were created to benefit us. We're entering an arena that really wasn't created for us or with us in mind. Yes, we're making some changes, but as far as what Damon is saying, you know, the ally thing, we're looking for approval from white people. We're looking for time for them to co-sign what we're doing. James Cone talks about his ideas were more revolutionary. We have to go out and we have to take what we want. We're going to have to go out and we're going to have to fight for what we want. We keep trying to wait for somebody to hand us some shit. Excuse my language. I know it's Sunday. Y'all gonna catch me today in a rare mood. I'm in a rare mood today, so. Yeah, man. So we gotta stop. We gotta stop waiting for the white man or the power structure to approve us, to co-sign us, to back us. Because 9 times out of 10 they won't, and sometimes they only uplift us. They'll uplift 1 or 2 of us to control the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, they put a black face in a place, but that's also not for our interest. They'll walk around with us, you know, tell us they grew up in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They can look like they care about us.
Right.
You know,
yeah. Oh, I grew up in your neighborhood, dude. Like you live in Rye, bro. like you far from Black community.
But even growing up, even if you're white, growing up on the south side of Mount Vernon, and this is a conversation I tried to have with him that he doesn't want to have with me. And Sandy Barnaby and them tried to push this from an anti-racism alliance a lens. You see the world in a different lens. You experience the world in a different lens than I do.
Right.
You know, you can go somewhere. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about why does Black Westchester, why do Black people, why do we always make it about race? And I'm like, any other group of people, like say Jewish people, if you walk into a room of white people, you have nothing in your garments identifying you as Jewish. You don't have the headgear, you don't have anything, you don't speak. You're just standing in a room. You're just another white person. People don't necessarily know that you are Jewish. Several of the actors, how many actors did we find out that of shows, our favorite actors we found out they were Jewish after something happened to Jewish people? Be like, oh wow, they're Jewish? You never knew because they were just another white person. I cannot walk in those same rooms and at no time not be Black. I can't sit in the room. I can't just come in the room and just be among the room and not stand out. My Blackness, my skin tone, it's not something I can turn on and off. It's not something that I can assimilate. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I can just blend in. I stand out in that room regardless. The minute I don't have to talk, I can be dressed in the same Tom Ford suit day in, whatever, everything, but I stand out. Where a Jewish man, if he doesn't identify himself, an Irish person, an Italian person, there's certain things that identify you. One, you speak. One, some things you wear, some of your habits. But if you're just standing in that room, you're just another white person. I can't stand in that same room. I can't stand in that same room and ever be just another white person. My Blackness is on display the minute I walk through the door. So I say that to say, every situation that I am in is about race, is about color, is about my Blackness. Whether I want it to be or not. Let's just keep that part, we just have to keep real. So George, when George walks in the room, and listen, I have no problem with George. I just don't like some of the things with him affiliating with the APAC and all that stuff. I've been vocal about those things. But George, you live in Rye, you walk in certain circles where even without your title, you can stand in and be welcome that I can't. You can walk in a room and just blend in. You see the world through a completely, plus where you live, the city you live in Rye. I was up in Rye recently. There's not a lot of us up there. When Playland's not open, there's not a lot of us up there. I walked through. I went through the little diner. I went through your main street and everything. I went through recently. There's not a lot of us up there. So what you see in your day-to-day alone, you see the world through a different lens than we do. So you can never totally identify with what we deal with just because you stayed here and you lived here for X amount of years. You can empathize more than some others, but you can never fully, I'll never fully fit in that white room without standing out. You'll never fully just, fit in. You'll never see things the way we do. You don't experience things the way we do. You see things through a different lens. And that's part of what we call the white privilege, the privilege of being white. We don't say that to slander you. We don't say that to call you a racist or anything. White people, by definition, benefit from white privilege. Even poor white people can throw on a suit and go in that room and they'll just be another white person. There's never a time that I can go in that room and I'm just not a black person. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a privilege. Some of y'all have the complexion for the protection. Some of y'all don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean you don't have it. And Some of us don't know how to navigate these waters either. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean, some of us need some of us do hang out in those circles enough that they think that it can't happen to them. And since this is the show that I'm not afraid to say it and we talk about everything, they end up getting their nigga wake up call and they realize, oh, I am black. So there is always an issue, whether we want it to be. Every situation does. And lastly, I'll say, every system that we have, the legal system, criminal justice, politics, even religion, is all created out of racism without us in mind. Go ahead, Damon.
No, well, I mean, I have a book coming out in June, and it's called Jesus and the Divine Black Masculinity. And shameless plug, y'all could go to DamonKJones.com and pre-order it. Shameless plug. But when you said that, AJ, my point of writing that book was the fact that religion has taken us, religion, right? I'm saying not faith, right? I'm saying religion. Organized religion has taken, especially black men, right? Even though we might go to church, we might have been raised in the church, but how many black men actually see themselves in Christ? Because they can't, because they're given a white.
In the definition of the white in the church structure, not the definition of the Bible of Christ, but the definition of church Christ.
Right,
yes.
The religion, the established religion Christ, right? And what's crazy, my pastor said it from the beginning. 2024 will be the year of exposure. Right? People are going to get exposed to who they truly really are. Right? And it's crazy that in 2024 we knew about it. The what's that? The Vatican has them locked away in some deep basement in Rome. Right? The pictures of the Black Christ, the pictures of the Black Mary, the pictures of the prophets being black, until Russia let them all out. That they had them. See, the part of black people's low self-esteem comes from religion.
Seeing themselves, right?
Comes from religion, and that goes all the way back.
And that's by design. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Absolutely.
And also in religion, the laws and justification for slavery come from religion. And half of the things that were committed against us come from religion, or are co-signed from religion. See, and I say religion, not the biblical Christ. If you talk about the biblical Christ, he actually identifies more with, he identified more with the oppressed, with those who were the downtrodden, for those being abused. If that ain't the black people, especially in Mount Vernon, but the black people in America, I don't know who else is.
Well, see, and this is the thing.
But that's who he identified with. That's who he was always with. That's who he was trying to help. That's who he walked. Jesus, and this always used to get me in trouble. Jesus, if he was walking the street right now in 2024, would not be in any of your churches. I want you to hear me now. I want you to hear me very clearly. Everybody just take this part, share this part. If you watch it on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share. If Jesus was walking the earth in 2024, he would not be in any of your churches. He would be in the hood. He would be in the trap. He would be.
He wouldn't be some of them churches in the hood neither.
No. I said churches.
Oh, okay.
I said any of your churches, my church, your church, anybody's church. He would be in the hood. He would be in the trap. He would be in the strip club. And how can I say these things? He came for the sick, not the well. He was never in the church in any of those days in the Bible. When he was at the church, he was chastising the Pharisees and the Sadducees for turning his father's house into a den of thieves, turning over the tables of the money changers. He wasn't judging all of those people that y'all judge. He came here to help them and heal them. I don't know, we get this thing, we go to church, we're saved, sanctified, all of those things, filled with the Holy Ghost, and you feel that gives you some superiority over those in our community, all those who are the homeless, all those other people. Do you know that's no better than the mentality that the slave masters had, that the people from church, the church folk who were slave owners and how they treated us? That's no better. They thought that they were better. They didn't see Black people as human. They didn't see us to have some kind of rights.
Right.
They thought it was okay to commit acts of slavery and all that other stuff and use the Bible to do it, and use the Bible to keep us in line, and use the Bible to punish those who dare to step up and try to be a man. So we have to look at, and also how many, if you want to go through history, how many atrocities have taken place in the name of, and wars have been started in the name of Christianity, taking over other countries because they were not Christian, and trying to put your ideals and force your ideals on them. AKA Ukraine, what's going on in Ukraine, AKA what's going on in Gaza right now. Trying to get other countries to submit in the name of Christianity. Do your homework. Do your homework. So I just want to throw that out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's what came when you, wherever you was at, that's what that came to me. Yeah.
Look, we have to understand that, and I am so, and I see my brother Larry Whittle watching. Everybody else is watching on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming and checking us out. I'm disappointed that in Westchester there's a silence among so many Black pastors about what's going on in Palestine. And I'm just waiting to see how many pastors stand up with Lattimore, knowing that he's got so much money from AIPAC, and the fact that
it's over $1 million now in the last Lohud article. It was 600,000 in the last quarter. Mm-hmm. Now it's over $1 million.
Yeah, because they're in a fight. Because people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up, and it's sad that it's more white folks waking up than it is Black people. And the fact that we need those type of funds more than any other community. And we and Black women are so loyal to the Democratic Party. You can't even see when you getting the wool pulled over your head. See, and another thing about the Democratic Party, they don't want strong black men. That's unapologetically being black. See, white people don't have to apologize for being white. They don't. And if some people get upset with what I'm saying, he said, we need this as a guest lecture in the churches. I would love to go.
Absolutely, and I'm down.
Yeah, I would love to go.
Send us an invitation.
I would love to go in the church. But white people don't apologize for being white. See, this is what I don't understand, how even black women fell for all this feminine stuff. You actually think the white woman is going to leave the white man when he has all the power? Are you kidding me?
But once again, they used you because they needed your voice to have strength in numbers for their fight. So once they got the rights, black people still didn't have the rights. So black women didn't have the rights, but only white women had the rights.
Well, exactly. And black women end up looking at black men as the enemy. We ain't got nothing. We looking up out of the grave just like you looking up out of it. How we become the enemy? We ain't got nothing.
Because the enemy understands the power of our unity, the strength of our black families, the strength of us. When black women and black men support each other and the family structure and African traditions of what we come from, that's where our power lies. See, they can't defeat us. So they need us to defeat each other. They need us to take each other out.
Exactly.
So so there's always power structure. There's always structures in place to divide black people and amongst each other, and then divide us, men and women, amongst each other. And these things weaken us, and in the weakened state, they're able to do the things they're able to do because we're not at our full strength to be able to fight that off and defend ourselves and understand and fight these structures. And once we learn how the game is played, going back to the whole political thing and racism, once we get in there and we learn how the game is played, what do they do every time, Damon? They change the rules.
All the time.
So now we're always playing catch up because none of these systems are for our benefit. None of these systems that we live in are created with us with our they're created with us in mind, but not in our favor. They're not created for our well-being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're all playing a part in the oppression. The oppression of black people, the oppression of brown people, the oppression of racism in this country. Our church system, our legal system, our political system, the miseducation of our children and the educational system. All of these are systems that were created in the name of oppression and racism and holding us back. And we have to first deal with that. The gatekeepers of these systems are not our friends.
No, absolutely not. And let me say something. Let me say something for all the people, because I love everybody to death, man. And we have to understand, everybody's not going to agree to the same thing.
Absolutely not.
And I'm saying this on the air. This is the first time in Westchester's history where we could possibly have a black district attorney that comes from civil rights, not from the law firm.
Right.
Not
A civil rights attorney, not a prosecutor. Right.
and we re-elect the first black congressman. Do you know what that does for our children? I'm 50. I'll be 56 years old, and I've never seen a black man or a black woman or a black person in general stand up and say that they're going to run to be the top law enforcement person in Westchester County. Now, that's something that, whether we agree or disagree, and I respect everybody and I have love for everybody, but at the end of the day, we got to start looking at the bigger picture. And of course, and hold him accountable like we will hold anybody else accountable.
And that's the key thing right there.
You know, and that's the whole thing. You know, hold them accountable. Because we're the ones that deal with the criminal justice system more than anybody else in Westchester County. But right, we're the ones that's always crying foul, bias and police brutality and police corruption. We're the ones.
Wrongful incarceration.
Exactly, and everything. And then we scoff on somebody that look like us. I get it. I really get it. I get why some people do. You know, but that's up to the candidate, William Wagstaff, to sit down like a man to some of these people that have issues. That's what he has to do. And work that out. But the bigger picture is having someone that look like us and then holding them accountable, just like we will hold Case accountable if she's in the office. Because we definitely gonna hold anybody accountable. If you know my history.
And
right?
that's where we get it twisted. We're holding, you know, even as a small community black independent media outlet, we are the fourth estate of the local politics. It is our job. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to highlight the situations that's going on in our communities, and we're supposed to hold the feet to the fire of all our leaders, elected and non-elected. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do as people. That's what we're supposed to do as voters. That's what we're supposed to do as residents. We're supposed to hold our leaders accountable. But Black Westchester, when Black Westchester, like, take someone, again, like George Latimer, who has enjoyed the support and endorsements of Black Westchester, feels that Black Westchester shouldn't criticize him. And just by critiquing him and criticizing him, we're political operatives now for the other side. No, the way you enjoyed our support when you were doing good, you have to accept the critique when we disagree. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, we have elected officials who look like us that feel like, oh, why is Black Westchester coming at me? Oh, you trying to take another good black man down? No, if you was another good black man, we wouldn't be trying to take you down. The fact is, you doing what you're not supposed to be doing, and it needs to be called out. And we're calling out people that are not used to being called out. Yo, just because we support you, or even endorse you, or back you, or help you get in office, does not mean you have a free ride. If we critique all these other people that we did not vote for, that we did not support, that we did not endorse, how much more do you think that we should be on top of, that we should critique the people who we do endorse, who we do put our name out there for, that we do support? I got more of a vested interest in you doing right. You understand what I'm saying? I helped you get there. So, but we play this game and we listen to elected officials. Oh, they're political operatives, or they throw the bullshit. Oh, they're mad because, you know, they didn't get a job. Like those are those dog whistles that make other people go like, oh yeah. You know why? Because most people are in this to get a job. I have
So
turned down jobs. You know what I'm
they would
saying? Because
never, they would never hire me, because you know why? Because I will do it right. I will do it right. So I want to go back, and I just want to make.
I'm just, listen. I just want to say, I'm on a 7-day. I'm on a 7-day fast. I'm having a whole lot of clarity now. You're gonna hear a whole lot. There's a lot of stuff you're gonna hear out of my mouth right now, because
that's what it's all about. I'm doing a 5-day. Well, yeah, I'm doing a 5-day fruit fast because I'm going away on Friday. But I just want to do one, so when I go, I'm clear. But what I want to what I wanted to say, I thought I made it clear, man. And y'all could send this to George Lattimore.
Please do.
That I never had any issue with you running. I had an issue with who you was running with, because of their history, and that's APAC.
The people that were supporting you, AJ, what they stood for.
Let me. I need to make this clear. I don't need to be interrupted on this, because I'm talking straight to George. I never had an issue with you running, but I had an issue with you running with APAC, knowing the history of that organization, and knowing the history of that organization, not giving a damn about the Black community, not giving 1 cent about the Black community. So when you took that money, as I said, you became a hitman on the first Black congressman, because their goal was to take out all Black Congress people, or all, even in the Senate. So yes, as a Black man, I have a problem with that. Now, to call me an operative because I checked you, George, I checked you on the people that you take money from, has nothing to do with Jamal Bowman. Has to do with you. Because see, I supported you when nobody else was fucking with you. When nobody else was fucking with you. When they was just taking you to churches of Mount Vernon, we put your face on the front of the paper and sent it to every Black church in Westchester. And we had this conversation, George. Because I told you, I said, well, you not being taken to Peekskill, you not being taken to, no, you just in Mount Vernon. We put your face on the front of the cover so Black people can see throughout Westchester County and every Black church. So don't call me an operative. When nobody was dealing with you, we was messing with you. We gave you the correct things to say to get some of the corrections to support you. We brought out Maxwell. And let me tell you something. And you did the right thing. You reinstated his health care. But let me tell you something. They told me, George, the biggest reason that Astorino lost was because of that health care with Maxwell. Because we pushed that. We pushed that. So don't act like, and then when you got into issues with Koba over the contract, we looked out for you. We looked out for you. We told the actual truth of what happened. And let me tell you something. And the fact that I got off work at 7 a.m., went to your office for almost 2 years in meetings, and I'm in uniform and got one lick of overtime, didn't get out of your office till like 11 o'clock, trying to make changes in policies in which you did none of it. That was one of the most biggest disrespect. But guess what? I understood it was politics. I didn't call you out then. I coulda, but I didn't. But this is unacceptable. The double standard that you show against Palestinians and Muslims is unacceptable. Have you forgot that there are black Muslims? There are people that look like me that are Muslims. I got family members that are Muslims. And the disrespect that you show is crazy on the campaign trail. And you still do it. But I get it because I know who's paying your bill. But I don't have to accept it. And that doesn't make me an operative for anybody. I'm a goddamn man. And when we discuss it, we discuss men to men. Not no goddamn operative. Don't disrespect me like that. Because we're going to stay in your behind. Win or lose. And you could try to send some of them black folks at me if you want to. I welcome them to come on the show. Let's have a discussion. You can send some of your black pastors too. They can come on the show too. We can have a discussion. Because I'll make them look like hypocrites from the Bible, what's going on in Palestine. And that's why many of them are so quiet. I'm done.
And lastly, speaking directly to George Latimer, you are more than welcome to come on this show. The show that has shown you so much love. The show that you never counted it robbery to come on before. When you were state senator, when you were running against Astorino to become county executive, when you were going through, used to come through and give your yearly report and your forecast for the next year. When there were certain issues you wanted that needed to be dealt with, you came on and spoke to those issues. Never had a problem coming on before. Never had a problem with communication. And we didn't always agree with you on everything, but you never had a problem having the discussion with us, either behind the scenes or on the air. The fact that you will not have it now shows something. Because, we can have a discussion without being really disrespectful, and that's also part of politics. And if you plan to be my congressman and my voice doesn't matter to you, that I have a problem with. You're trying to be the congressman of my district. I would be one of your constituents. So you're going to ignore me on the campaign trail? Why would I think you would try to hear from me if you get to office? As a voter, as a resident of CD 16, I have all rights to have an opinion. Forget about Black Westchester, which gives me the right to ask these questions. But as a resident of CD 16, as a registered voter, it gives me a right to speak. It gives me a right to ask questions. And if you're not going to answer questions on here to our audience, which a large makeup of our audience is within CD 16, that says a lot. And you heard what Damon said. I wasn't even coming at you like that. I was coming after the fact that the organizations supporting you were trying to get Republicans to change their party affiliations to take over the Democratic Party, to co-opt the Democratic primary, to specifically change their registration to vote against Jamal Bowman, which they all have on their website, and we've all covered those. Those are the things I was covering. Like, I feel like if Democrats in CD16 believe that you're the best candidate, they should be free to vote for you without outside interference from Republicans. If they feel like Jamal Bowman deserves re-election, they should be free to vote for him without outside interference from Republicans. Again, when we talk about those systems, there's 2,300 Republicans that successfully changed their party affiliation. Any of you Democrats, especially my black brothers and sisters, but any of you Democrats, George, who think that they have your back or will be there when you need them, you're just a tool for them to accomplish what they need to accomplish, and that's to get a very outspoken black man out of office who is speaking up for parts of the community that have not been spoken up for.
Exactly.
And who took out their congressman, a Jewish man who had been there for 31 years, who had spoke for their community like that. Now, no one's ignoring your community, but he's speaking to community, he's speaking to a portion of the community that have been ignored. And y'all feel like y'all have the right, I mean, you got a right to support what you want to support and do what you want to do. But, you know, those are the things I had a problem with, and I spoke on them, and I didn't have a problem. It didn't become personal with me and George until that day in February at New Rochelle High School, where you then brought me into the conversation and took it upon yourself to attack me with a certain energy. And when I decided to then match your energy, I became the problem. I became a political operative. None of what I was saying was an attack directly on you, the person, but the elected official and the persons and the organizations that were supporting that don't support me, that don't have my best interests in mind, who don't care about me, or anybody that looks like me. That's when we had a problem. You made it a problem because you were having a problem with what Damon was saying. And as I told you that day in your face in New Rochelle, you got Damon's cell phone number. Like, you tried to make it sound like you was going to throw it off and tell Damon, oh, I'm going to tell Damon that you blamed it all on him. I said, no, you're not, because you had his phone number and you haven't talked to him about it yet. And it obviously is bothering you. And you thought the safe thing to do was to scream on me that day at a Black History Month event in New Rochelle at the high school. And you expected me to what? Lay down and take it? And not speak up? Even more? Which is what you have a problem with. When I match your energy that you brought to me. You had a problem. This all started because a young lady who was a resident, who was a voter within CD16, who wasn't sure who she was going to vote for, as she says, saw you and wanted to know why you were running against Bowman. What was the problem with Bowman? And why did you think that you could do a better job for us? That conversation you took as adversarial because she wasn't just accepting your talking points that you say at every political gathering. you were there to shake hands and kiss babies and walk through a Black History Month event, and one or two voters pushed back on you. You had a problem with that. But you expect them people to vote for you, though. You want them people's vote, but you don't want them to have anything to say. If what they're saying is not in alignment with what you're saying. And while I have defended you against a lot of people and not called you a racist and said I don't think that you are racist, those are racist tendencies. When you try to silence a people, you expect them to fall in line with you, but how dare they have the audacity to speak up against you? Those are white privilege. Those are racist tendencies. That you, as a person who says you grew up in Mount Vernon and that you understand the Black community, should understand the history of that from white people more than anybody else. So it's in your telling of the story that you down with us, that you rock with us, that you grew up with us. I expect you to understand. Even more, let's be clear on that. And that's where my words come from. But I did not come out, I did not start attacking you. I attacked the attempted Republican takeover of the Democratic Party. And I was very clear that that's what I was talking about specifically, and that's what I had a problem with. And the movements of APAC, the District PAC, the Teach Organization, and others blatantly put on their website, all Republicans switch party affiliation to Democrat so we can vote Jamal Bowman out of office. Like, I didn't make this stuff up. They have it boldly on their website.
Exactly.
And like Damon even said, and one of them say, community before, was it community over party? And you know what? I agree with Damon. That is an attitude we need to take on more. We need to put our community interest over the party interest. And we don't do that. And I'm speaking to all the Black elected officials and leaders who fell in line to support George Latimer. Yes, you. And if you have to ask, is he talking about me? Then yes, you. Then yes, you. You are the leaders of the community, and your responsibility should be community over party, not party over community. It shouldn't matter that you or a family member has a county job. It shouldn't matter that your organization or your church is getting grants or money from the county. It should not matter.
Ooh, excuse me.
It should not matter. The county was one of our biggest advertisers. Not sure if they're going to continue to be. But their being our biggest advertiser is not enough to keep us quiet. You have to, freedom and liberation and justice and all those things that y'all claim to want, there's a price. Freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. It's not a gift. Somebody can't just give it to you. You got to fight for it. You got to demand it.
Listen, man, we're about to close out.
Yeah, we're about to come to close, but I just want to be clear. I wanted to be clear like you were clear. I wanted to be clear. This was never personal. This was never personal. And the fact that you then took it personal and didn't want to have no more communication with us shows your character. And then makes me wonder if some of the things that you are being accused of, if they are not true. Because you never had a problem talking to us or sending one of your people to talk to us. And you know who we talk about. We'll leave that person alone for the day. The Black Godfather. Yeah.
No,
So
and I told him from the beginning, like, I don't understand, like, I what do black people actually give their honest opinion in Westchester County? Because we should be able to give our honest opinion about something and not be pushed back. You know, but guess what? Black people, we do it ourselves. You know, Reggie Lafayette, God bless the dead, said not to put that woman in place. What's her name? The Democratic chair.
Susan Berger.
Yeah. Reggie told people. But here y'all did, man, because y'all just, I don't know. He said it. And then we had her on the show, and she was horrible.
Very, 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 like,
distant.
She was doing us a favor.
She
was doing us a favor by even showing up. Like it was beneath her to show. And ironically, let me put this out there: he may have done what they said they did, but it's ironic that the person who was running against him got investigated for campaign fraud for him and his son. I mean, I'm just saying that's just real ironic, though. I'm just saying he may be guilty of what they said, but I find that real ironic that the person running against you, who actually we thought was a better candidate, that person got investigated. Him and his son got investigated for fraud.
Yeah.
There may have been a there, but I'm sure the push for the investigation was because he was your adversary. He was your opponent.
Of course. Somebody need to stand up because right now, listen up. Y'all don't have a Democratic Party. Yes, we do. No, you don't. It's been years and years and years, you know, and I always blame Reggie for this. Y'all welcomed all these Republicans with open hands in the Republican Party, and now Georgia's campaign is just open up the floodgates. 2,300, 2,800?
2,300.
2,300. I told this to Wagstaff. I said 2,300. You're down 2,300 votes against Case. I said, because do you think those white people are voting for you when they came over to take out the black man in Congress? We just having honest conversations. And you said, well, what are you making about race? Well, they're making it. They made it about race when they said they was going to take out Bowman. They made it about race. I didn't make it about race. They made it about race. They made it about race when they said community before party. Their community is all white. They made it about race.
They made it about race when anybody who didn't avow their total support to Israel, who had the audacity to speak up, was labeled either anti-Semitic or a Hamas supporter.
Right.
Right. Everything is not, just like I tell my black people, everything is not racism. Some things are true. Some things maybe shouldn't be said that way, but everything is not racism. My Jewish brothers and sisters, everything is not anti-Semitic. Some things are true. Some things you don't like and are uncomfortable to hear, but they are not anti-Semitic. Calling for people to have empathy for lives lost on both sides, especially the things that happened in Gaza, for not just calling October 7th out as a atrocity, but the things that have happened after that as an atrocity, that does not make someone a Hamas supporter. That makes somebody human and respecter of human life. Part of oppression, part of racism is not respecting everyone as a human. Black people were not even respected as a human, as a whole human.
Right.
We have that attitude across the country. I mean, across this world. Gaza is not seen as human. These people that are going through these atrocities, they're not. And so to speak up for them does not make me a Hamas supporter. We have condemned Hamas for their actions on October 7th.
But
The
see,
problem is, wait, let me say, the
Mm-hmm.
problem is y'all are not willing to be comfortable having an uncomfortable conversation. Anything that is uncomfortable, you have to attack and label it something. But this is just real talk. Go ahead, Damon.
No, I mean, that's just talking points, man. And we always and we always fall victim. Hey, what's up, Dawn?
What's up,
Hey,
Cliff?
Cliff? And we always fall victim. But we're gonna close out, man.
Yeah. We gave y'all enough for today.
Yeah. I just wanna.
I'm about to eat and set up to sun. My fast is set up to sundown. I can eat soon. So
Yeah. This is my last big meal tonight. But I just want to give a shout out to the Baratella family. We lost an officer, Officer Baratella. She was in a accident, a car accident, and she was reported that she lost her life. I'm not sure her age, but Eleanor Baratella, and the Baratella family. Man, my prayers go out to you guys.
Who was she with? You didn't say. Was she corrections, law enforcement?
She's correct. Look at the uniform.
I'm just saying Westchester Corrections.
Corrections.
For those who don't know,
I was getting ready to get into that. But you can see, I mean, it's corrections. So, she worked at Westchester County Department of Corrections. I'm not sure how long she's been there. I've seen her a couple of times, but I know her family, that worked there, and man, and my heart goes out. My heart goes out, and we're praying for the Baratella family. It's just losses like this, a young person who from what I understand, everybody that I talked to on the phone, I'm retired now. She was a wonderful person. She always liked the stuff on WCA, the Westchester Corrections Association. So it was real good, man. And I'm praying for y'all guys, man. And I'm praying for peace and understanding. Because I know this is a hard time for the family. And it's a hard time for the correction family too, up there in Westchester County Department of Corrections. And my prayers go out for everybody that's up there. I'm not too far off, man. I ain't even been retired a year yet. So, I'm still close to some people, and I still text them. And, I'm just praying, man. I'm just praying for the people up there that they could get through this.
No doubt. Well, with that, we're going to bid you adieu. This has been I don't know, episode 393, maybe somewhere around there. Sorry I was late. I was having technological issues earlier.
That's all right. They got to hear me rant.
Yeah, you got to hear Damon unfiltered, unapologetic, just straight, no chaser.
Exactly.
The world needs a little bit of that every now and then.
And remember, the scent of the day is Afnan supremacy in heaven. I'm going to put the link. Go to YouTube. The link of it is going to be in YouTube. But Afnan supremacy in heaven. This is a great. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it. The link is going to be in the thing. So this is a great scent, man. I'm telling y'all guys, you're not. Let me tell you something. I'm so convinced that, fellas, if you buy it, sisters, if you buy it and you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. But I know you're gonna like it, so don't try no craziness. Talking about, yo, Damon, I don't like it. Man, I know you like it. I know you like it. And what? And it's only $26. You can't get mad at $26. It's $26. And this is a great summertime scent, man. Y'all bugging out. And let's remember, I always say it's not the label, it's always how you smell. How you smell ain't got no label. Either you smell good or you don't. Period. Either you smell good or you don't. So what else you got to say, AJ, man?
Not much, man. Peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you for everybody who's rocking with us, going into our 10-year anniversary. Continue to support Black Westchester. It's very, very important. I want to, in the words of Ray Charles, one of these days, and it might not be long, you're gonna look for us and we're gonna be gone. So
Yo, you ain't never lied about that. Hey, what happened to Black Westchester?
Yeah.
It's gone. We done sold it. We done sold it and cashed out. We're gone.
Yeah.
We done sold it, and then y'all come on, it'd be two white guys talking about welcome to Black Westchester Magazine.
What happened to Black Westchester? They got government jobs now. I'm just playing.
They done sold it and bounced.
So yeah. So, we support the things that we care about and we think that are important. Support a whole lot of bullshit too. So, like I'm just saying, freedom is not free, and this has been a labor of love for both of us. But I'm glad to be coming to our 10-year anniversary, and the fact that we were able to do this for 10 years. And this is not a goodbye speech. It's just saying. I'm just saying. But the fact that we were able to do that, two average brothers, was able to make a difference in this decade, in this political climate, in our county, and hopefully, even if we are going after this, that we left things a little bit better than how we found it. And we've educated a few people, you know what I'm saying? And a few people are moving more, are getting more involved. And like I said, we didn't start this become the voice, to be the voice of the people. We started this to give the people a voice. And, we hope we've accomplished that. We're doing that. And thank you all for your support. Until next time. I'm out.
That's right. And when you wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m., I'll be live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I will be live with the morning tea. And join us in the morning because we could talk about health, wellness, mental clarity, and spirituality. And we could have discussions on truth before you go outside and the world tell you lies. So tune in tomorrow at 6 a.m. for the morning tea. Check us out for the morning tea, y'all. And I believe that's it.
No doubt.
And we're out of here.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. Today, look around America. We see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it.